Hello and welcome to my channel. It's Jen here. I'm just going to give another quick collective reading. I've been doing a lot of these collective readings for some reason. They seem to resonate more um, with me because they don't feel particularly tied to a specific sign. Sorry about that. And I don't know whose energy it is. It's not mine because there's one thing I want to share with you guys. As I was watching some tarot channels, I have some of my favorites, and then I'll bump into a few. And this is no shade at all, but I will say this because it's something that I feel and I want to share it with my viewers. If you ever feel that the energy doesn't belong to you, please don't take it. Um, what I'm noticing is that some readers, and again, it's no shade, but it feels like projected energy, if that makes any sense. It doesn't feel like it's for the highest and greatest good of who's watching. One of the main one of my main things when I'm doing tarot is, number one, I never want to project, and that's probably why um, I'm not really consistent with uploading, because if I'm not in a great mood, I don't like to read because I might pick up on my energy, or my energy might spill over and then I might project. I never want to do that. I don't think it's morally ethical. It's not fair for the viewers. But I noticed that there's a lot of that. There's a lot of projecting where maybe the tarot reader is feeling some sort of way and it's coming out in their readings. And I only say that because every reading seems to be based off that. And I'm not saying that, they're not being realistic. Everything is not always rainbows and sunshine, but when I go down the videos, they all seem to embody that same energy, whether it's, oh, someone is jealous of you, someone is envious of you, this person's coming. It just seems, I don't know, to me, it just seems very projected. And that's kind of the energy that I've been observing. Um, and I'll say observing because it's not my energy, but I see it, right? When you see something, it's like, but you don't take it in, right? That energy has been coming up frequently. So maybe some of you, if you feel like either you're projecting maybe or someone else is projecting onto you, I do want to say sometimes that's their energy. Give it back. Simply say, if someone tries to give you anything, something you don't want physically or energetically, give it back. Just simply be like, that doesn't belong to me. Because especially if you're an empath like me, you can pick up on other people's energies. And I'm not saying that it can cause any sort of woo woo things in your life, to a certain extent, but what I'm learning, especially through meditation, is that sometimes those energies can have a heavy influence on you. So let's say, whereas, if it's not evil eye, but there's someone really toxic in your energy, that can have an influence on your life. Because again, even if it's not your energy, but it's irritating your angels, because they like to say, oh, such and such is their demons are irritated. Sometimes other people's toxic energy irritates our angels, our, the guides that are with us. And when our vibration is low through whatever sadness, mad, anger, they kind of get distant from us because they can't be in that energy. And I'm not saying be of light every day. I mean, it's impossible. It's impossible. But you can try, or you can observe it, acknowledge it, and then release it. Because what happens is, even though the person may not intentionally be giving you an evil eye, or intentionally, being toxic on purpose for it to rub off on you, it will. It will, to a certain extent, whether you feel it or not. So that's what I wanted to share today. Let's go ahead and tap into the collective reading. Let's see what we have here. Um, Queen of Pentacles, Four of Swords in reverse, and Two of Wands. Okay. So let's see here. Let's see. Queen of Pentacles, she's about stability. She's about her pentacle. She is the Queen of Pentacles, Queen of material, Queen of stability, And I think for some of you, you have been looking on how can I be more stable? What can I bring more into my life that's going to feel more fulfilling as far as like work or home life, spiritual life, even. I equate pentacles with things of this realm, things that make us feel comfortable. And with her looking at her pentacle, it's almost like, wow, she's admiring it, but it's almost like, I don't know, I get the feeling and it's not the same for every card pull, but in this energy, I get the sense like she's like, what do I do now? I have this pentacle, but is it enough? With the Four of Swords, some of you collective might have gone through a healing phase. You might have gone through some either physical healing, I'm sorry, physical healing, spiritual healing, and you definitely have a new perspective, right? It's almost like, okay, I'm done healing, or you feel like you've gained a new perspective. Or some of you could have physically healed. Some of you were maybe thinking about your stability and saying, hey, let me, I feel better now, or I've healed from this surgery, or let me get up and figure out what I'm going to do next. But, Four of Swords upright, it's the need to pause. It's the need to kind of sleep on things, reflection, heal. But, in reverse, it's basically saying, yeah, we're done with that. We're done. And it's a mental thing because swords are about your thoughts and communication. So this is a situation that it's a conscious thought. I think for some of you, you're ready to not only think about it, but also do it as well. Because when I look at it, she's getting up, she's getting up from sleeping. She's almost even levitating, even. Like from this view, it's almost like if she falls, she's not gonna fall on the floor. She's gonna literally fall towards the sky. I think for some of you, you're literally trying to reach for the limit now. It's like the sky is the limit. Then you have the Two of Wands here. Okay, some of you could be influencers. This is to me my when I see him holding the world, and I put it in modern terms now. Of course, the Rider Waite deck is old as time, but I try to incorporate modern day times. Some of you could be influencers working on something on the web, or just really putting some idea or some passion, some action really out there. It's not a three. It's not like it's been done and now you're kind of like, all right, let's see how how it does. Let's see the results. It's a planning stage. It is a two, so there are some choices to make. I think for some of you, if you're looking for a decision to make, definitely go with the I don't know where I'm getting. Go with a bigger choice or go with the higher one. Maybe it's a higher pay, but something that embodies like it's higher. I don't know how to put that. I don't know. Spirit saying higher, like more money, a bigger house, bigger room. Just go big. That's what it is. Go big or go home. That's really what I'm getting with this energy of the Two of Wands. So definitely some of you have been really focusing on your stability, on how to make things a little bit better, how to broaden that, and really going from like a sleeping stage to now waking up and really putting momentum in that. And it's like a go big or go home. So let's see. Queen of Pentacles. Let's clarify the Queen of Pentacles. What is the collective worried about regarding the stability? Because I see here that she's really looking at her pentacle like, yeah, I like it, but what is left? Okay, let's see. The Hierophant. Some of you guys are moving away from tradition. Some of you guys are really going solo with this. The Hierophant is about advice. He it's Taurus energy, And it is about stability, but I think for some of you, you are going the non-traditional route. You're not doing things by the book, so to speak. And maybe that's what's worrying you. Maybe you're doing something out the box. Maybe, and this is what's worrying you. Is it going to work? But I think that momentum, that planning with the Four of Swords and the Two of Wands is what's giving you that drive. Clarify the Four of Wands, the Four of Swords for me. Okay, there's some. Yeah, I think for some of you, if you're working with a group or you're sharing this information with someone, they don't like it. And it's called, you might even be competition for somebody or a group, some sort of environment where you're waking up from something, and that can, you can take it as it resonates. You're waking up from a thought. You're waking up to something major. And some people around you may not like that. This happens a lot, especially when you put down boundaries, when you're like, I'm not just going to lay here and play dead. Some people don't like that, right? And this is on an external level, because my wands and my pentacles are external and internal, like how you feel and how your thought is my cups and my sword. So there is something that you're thinking about doing, that you're awakening to, that is really causing some external competitions. There's definitely some people that don't want you to either move on or speak up, even. They just want you to just lay there and play dead. And you're like, no, I have this idea and I'm moving forward with it, and I'm making plans. What is the collective making plans about? Let's clarify the Two of Wands here. Clarify the Two of Wands. Oh my God, you got the Five of Swords. Yeah, I think for some of you are going to use your voice. Okay, some of you are going to put into action something that allows you to speak, and there's going to be some competition here. I mean, you literally have the 5 of Wands and the 5 of Swords. And 5 is about change, right? It's always about change. 5 of Wands is about struggles. It's healthy competition, and it does push growth, but it's definitely that dynamic that causes conflict, right? Something you're going to say or something that you're thinking about is going to cause some conflict among some people, and you're making choices about what direction you want to go in. But again, with the 5 of Swords, some people are going to feel defeated. They're going to feel like, no, no, collective, if you do that, we can't. It's going to be too much. It's almost like, why am I getting monopoly? It's almost like if you put out your plan, it's going to wipe everybody else's plans out, or it's going to cause too much competition. Either they know that, or I'm also getting sabotage. Someone may be trying to sabotage. This 5 of Swords, this is Venus and Aquarius. So you know this is really hitting in the heart space. Someone is being very cruel, because Venus and Aquarius, it is about how you feel, but Aquarius is very philosophical. And with this card showing up, I'm kind of getting the feeling like someone is really trying to, because to me, Aquarius is always the first to know, but no one ever wants to listen to Aquarius when they say it. It's almost like revolutionary. They can have like this quirky idea, and then 3 years down the line, it comes out, and Aquarius is like, I literally brought that up 3 years ago. But this energy is giving me something like, you have an idea, you have a thought. And Two of Wands, Mars and Aries, very going direct. Aries is like that leader. He's Aries is going to go forth with that, with kind of like a forceful energy. And someone doesn't want you to push ahead. They could even be pulling on your heartstrings here. They could even be trying to tell you in a way like, no, collective, that's not really a good idea. Trying to kind of like, I'm getting sabotage. Getting sabotage energy. 4 of Swords, Jupiter and Libra. Jupiter is about expansion. It's literally the biggest planet. And Libra is about balance, right? So I think for some of you, you're trying to balance out your life. And you're kind of, if Jupiter is the planet of expansion and this card is in reverse, I think for some of you, you're really zoning in. You're keeping this to yourself. It's also giving me justice because Libra is the justice card too. So there's something that you're kind of keeping under wraps. You don't really want to share it. It's almost like if you share it, like I said earlier, if you share it, this energy might be a heavy influence. Let's see. What else do we have here? Yeah, someone doesn't want you to manifest whatever this is. Either it's moving on or trying to be more stable or just trying to, you're being very non traditional with the Hierophant in reverse. Again, it could even be, the Magician in reverse. I'm not saying like black magic, witchcraft, or anything like that, but magic in reverse, it could be some sort of, they wanted to sabotage you even with the evil eye and it's not working. You have the Seven of Wands in reverse too. So you're done fighting. You're done. It's almost like, you know what? I'm not going to keep trying to prove myself. This is Mars and Leo. I'm really going to shine. I'm going to be the center of my own world now. Like you can, you know, Leo is that feisty energy. But Leo's also the sun and sometimes people want to dim that light, right? Three of Pentacles in reverse. Yeah, you no longer want to work either in a group with this person or this person is it's I'm also getting that for some of you collective, there might be either a group in your energy or a specific person that is kind of like a know-it-all. They kind of want to, take charge of the project or try to tell you what you need to do. And it's almost like you don't know crap. You're it's like it's the blind leading the blind. You can't tell me anything that I don't already know. Two of Pentacles in reverse. Yeah, you're not going back and forth with this in your mind anymore. It's almost like, yeah, Two of Pentacles, Jupiter and Capricorn. And Capricorn's the hardest working sign to me. Like they will literally drop everything for everyone else. But with it coming out in reverse, I think for some of you, you're learning how to choose yourself. Queen of Cups in reverse, this could be someone very manipulative in your energy or someone, it can be you. I'm being realistic. This is a reading for the collective. Take it as it resonates. But Queen of Cups in reverse is someone who tries to pull on your heartstrings, but in a manipulative way. They come off very caring, like they care, and they love you and they want the best for you, but they really don't. And there you go with the Hangman. Yeah, some of you might need to kind of pause for a second and get a new perspective on things. The Hangman is about surrendering and knowing that what you can't control, you just have to leave it. Having that wisdom to know there's some things I can control and some things I can't, and that's okay. The Tower, yeah, some things are going to get shaken up. Some things are really going to get shaken up here because for whatever reason your stability is at stake here, or your livelihood, or even your spiritual well-being. And with you waking up to that, it's causing, like, I almost get like some people don't like the boundaries. Page of Pentacles, yeah, you want something new for yourself. You want something new for yourself. You go from you're looking at the Queen of Pentacles is looking at her pentacle, but she seems, and that's not usually the energy of her card, but that's what I'm picking up here with the Hierophant. It's almost like if you have a job and it pays okay, or you're in a position where it's not like you're uncomfortable, but it's like you need a change. You need something new. Some of you might be thinking about going back to school or just investing your time and your money into something fresh that brings in, some sort of stability. justice. There goes, I was just speaking of Libra, there goes justice, you know? This is weighing the scales. This is knowing right from wrong. This is balancing your truth and justice, because she's holding that sword. So she's going to tell the truth, and then she has the scale. It's fairness. Whatever you need to say or have to say, and it's true to you, then it's fair. It's not supposed to be accommodated for the other person. It's supposed to be your truth, right? It's your truth. And as long as it's not coming from a place of malice, you're not doing it to hurt anybody else. This is your truth. Yeah, Four of Cups. I think, yeah, you're just dissatisfied. It's a feeling of, I'm not satisfied. It can also come off as, you know, being grateful, because this is my card of kind of like that brat, like, no, I don't want it. But in this energy, it's almost like, I don't want it. I don't want what you have to offer. And there goes the world. You know, the world. The world is the final completion in the fool's journey. This is complete fulfillment. This is after everything, after, going through the entire journey, the death, the devil, the tower, the star, the moon, that this is the final finale. This is when you've gone through a spiritual awakening, ego, all of that, and this is the final completion. But I will say this, these instances happen, it's not linear. And I didn't even realize that until I realized it myself, that when you go through one spiritual awakening, that's not the spiritual awakening. It's the spiritual awakening to whatever circumstance you're in at that moment. And you're constantly going to go through different spiritual awakenings, ego deaths, depending, because we're constantly growing. So to see the world here, it's almost like a celebration, but I'm also even getting like a graduation. Like for some of you, you're literally graduating to the next step in your growth journey. And again, when you're growing at that pace and you make it to graduation, some people may show up, some people may clap. At the end of the day, you still have your degree. It doesn't matter who showed up, it doesn't matter who claps. What you went through is still factual, and what you went through is still solidified no matter what. Okay, so I think for some of you, you're going through a great transformation right now. And I know that sounds so cliche, but once you realize that, these things don't happen linear, they happen as they need to happen with divine timing. And they can be as they can be as small as just literally realizing that this job no longer serves me, this person no longer serves me, this environment no longer serves me, and that itself can bring a great transformation. And there can be one person, a group, a situation, but this is literally catapulting you to the next phase in your life. So let's go ahead and close this out. That's for whoever um, that's for. Like I said, I am going to come out with the individual zodiac signs, but I felt compelled to come out with that collective. So whoever that's for will find it. But let's see. Let's close this out with an Akashic Record Oracle card. And I just want to say, whoever that is, if you're not, take it as it resonates. I look at this as stages. Some of you are in the beginning stages. Some of you have made it to the world. And some of you are in the middle. You're still contemplating. But I'm looking at this like, whoever this is for, some of you are in different stages of this. But to me, the outcome is still the same. Remember, life is not a race. No one is standing by you with a stopwatch telling you when you need to complete anything. You don't need to look from side to side to see who's running behind you or ahead of you. This is your race, okay? This is your race. It's not who gets there the fastest or who gets there the quickest, who's the slowest. And this is why when we're dealing with different energies that don't align with us, the way to give it grace is just to realize we're not aligned. It's not really a matter of, well, I'm better than you, or, you're better than me. We're all living in our own race, and no one is next to us. There isn't a stopwatch, there is no deadline to complete anything. But also realizing that, if it is a situation, person, place, or thing that is having a heavy influence on your life, and now you're awakened to that, it's okay to say we don't align, because you're literally affecting my end goal. Okay, it's a distraction. I'm literally picturing someone running track, and even though they're the only one running track, there's nobody else there. It's not a competitive race, but there's someone on the bench or the bleachers that's like, hey, like causing a distraction. That's really what I see. And it's like, why are you distracting me? No one is even here. Why are you even here in my state? Why are you even here in my stadium? And then there's some people that are on the bleachers, but they're clapping and they're encouraging you, and they're like, go, 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 go. They're giving you that momentum. But take it as it applies. There are some people that are literally throwing tomatoes and trying to distract you, or saying, hey, don't you want to take a rest and sit on the bleachers with me? Let's talk. And you're like, no, I have to run this race. I can't stop. And then there's other people that are literally just on the sidelines encouraging you. So, oh my goodness, look at here. You have difficult road, spirit of perseverance, being prepared for great things, walking the hard path in life. Look at there. Wow. That's amazing. I think that's what I'm gonna call this reading, the spirit of perseverance. I love that. That's what I have for you, collective. I'm gonna go ahead and get the October readings rolled out, but if this is where I leave you again, um, I send you all the love and light. And until next time, take care.